We are honored to have you here today because this is a very, very important topic, okay? For each and every one of us, including me, okay? So, Ember plus Moon, welcome. Nayan, hello. Thank you. Manika, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Sue, for being here. Dia, Diamantino. I hope I said your name right. Okay. Um, Thank you for joining as well. We appreciate you all being here today. Um, Hello, Alan Gregory.
Ellen's
Okay,
in Hawaii.
hey, it's snowing here, so I don't know what it's doing in Hawaii, but I would love to go there for a few weeks. Why not? Okay, so we're gonna get this party started today, everyone. I want to be respectful respectful with everybody's time. Okay. Hello, Kathy. Hello, Flora. Um, so today I have with me uh, Florence Acosta. Okay. She is the author of Becoming You. Okay. And I am Margaret Williams, the author of the Empowered Leader publication. Okay. Where I help marginalized leaders, elevate their voice, their influence, and impact. And that's what we're all about here today. Okay. Hello, Dr. Janine. Thank you for joining us today, and Nicholas. Okay. So, um, Florence is a healthcare professional and leader. Okay. Based in my hometown, Michigan. Go Blue. Okay. And writer and mom, inspiring intentional living, mindset, and personal growth. Oh man, that's what we all about here. Okay, that's why I like, girl, come on here. We got to get on this live. Okay, encouraging you to become your truest self and reminding you that your voice matters, you matter, and you are enough. That's enough to be said right there, right? I'm like, girl, come on, let's go. Okay, so talk to us today, Florence. Tell us about your journey, okay, before you come to Substack and now here at Substack. Talk to us.
Miss Margaret. So, I had a stroke in 2023 and fell into a deep depression. And it's only till last year that I pulled myself out. And then I decided one day, let's try Substack. And here I am.
Okay.
So, yeah. I had my two friends that were with me when I had my stroke, and as a result, I lost everything. I lost my title as a nurse anesthetist. I lost my title as an executive director of a surgical center, and that's why I fell into that deep depression, and I lost everything, and that really hurt me because I didn't know who I was anymore without those titles. Without those titles, without the career, I was just me, right? But I didn't know who me was. So here I am. This is why I'm on this Substack journey. I lost my voice at a very young age at that. I got a Raggedy Ann doll one year, and I wanted her. I was so proud of her, and I wanted her to be in my family picture for Christmas, and that was like 3 years old. And my dad said no, and I didn't have language for it then. But at that young age, I knew it wasn't. I felt it wasn't safe for me to ask for what I wanted, and that's where I think I lost my voice.
Wow. So, talk to us about your journey back from this stroke. Okay. that in itself? I know it paralyzes maybe one side of your body. I don't know. Is it the left side of your body?
It depends on what side your stroke is on. The right side of my face is, it's not numb, but it's cold, and the right side of my body, I can move it, but it doesn't really always do what I want. But I'm sorry, what's the question again?
No, what I was wondering was your journey back from this stroke,
Yeah.
the process of how you got back from there and where you are today, because that takes a lot of strength and courage.
Yes, it does. Like I said, I fell into that deep depression for like 2 years, and I would wear it in my hair in a bun every day. I mean, I was like, I wouldn't dress up, not dress up, but I was always in sweats, and it was just like whatever. And I was very quiet. Like everything was inside, and it really wasn't until my 21-year-old son, decided to move to Miami, Florida. That's like 1,231 miles away from me, that I perked up because I gave him the permission to move. Not permission, but my blessing, right? Because I wanted him to spread his wings and fly, and I thought to myself, "Well, why don't I do that? Why don't I spread my wings and fly?" So I gave myself permission to do that, to blossom, to become who I was, right? And that's how I came out of that deep depression from my stroke.
So you had a shift in your identity because of the stroke.
Correct.
You were no longer the person that you used to be, and so you had to reinvent yourself
Correct.
from the
Correct.
ground up.
Mhm. Yeah. And, going reinventing myself wasn't anything new. I mean, we all have done that, right? Because each time we go into a different version of ourselves, we reinvent ourselves. But, um, as far as my career is concerned, when I became an executive director of that surgery center, that was reinventing myself because my background's in healthcare. It's not in business, right? So that
Right.
was reinventing myself because, I mean, I was a leader, but like I said, my background's not in business, and I had to learn that part. So, yeah, reinventing it, like I said, is not something new for all of us, but especially for me. Yeah.
So as you recovered from the stroke, did you get back into the healthcare profession at all?
No, I've not. I volunteered back at the surgery center that I used to run, which was hard for me because the stuff I was doing was stuff I was delegating out for people to do. Um, yeah, so that was hard. I didn't last as a volunteer for too long. But no, I never got back into healthcare. Yeah, I do Substack. That's what I do. I just try to inspire people.
So, uh, do you miss being in the healthcare profession?
You know, I did. I still, I do miss it. I miss the people that I was leading. I miss the people that were surrounding me. I mean, I miss doing what I did. Um, and I think that's gone now. I mean, I miss it still. Last year, in October, my business partner came to visit me, and I was still in the space of wanting to be in a place where I didn't belong anymore, and that was hard. That was very hard for me. Um, but I had to let go of that, like I did many things, and, uh, and now I'm here. Yeah. I didn't I didn't get my belongings from my office delivered to me until October of last year. So a full 2 years, and that was hard because it was like I felt like those are the last things of me in that space. So, yeah, here I am.
It's very, very difficult because I spent 39 years with the federal government, okay?
Mhm.
I moved, 8 times during that time frame, okay? And each move is like a death. You're going through a death, okay?
Right.
And you're being reborn, you know? And then you have to learn your whole environment, you have to learn new. Whatever you had learned before, you throw it out. It's like, okay, I'm in a new place now. And so that's when the initiation begins. Okay? I don't know. You don't know how long that initiation is going to last. Okay? You just hope that, okay, hopefully I pass with flying colors. But you're going to always go to a place and find people that are just not going to like you. Some people are going to like you. You just have to figure all of this out. So this was my last move. And I was like, you know what? I ran. An avoidant. And so when things got tough, I like, oh, I'm gonna find me another place to go. Okay.
Mhm.
You can find as many places as you want to go, but the thing is going to be the same. It's going to be the same. People are going to be the same regardless to where you go, you know?
Right.
So we have to face that fact. Okay. And so I like, okay, the last place I went, I like, you know what? I'm gonna stand up to people because I'm tired of being treated like crap. Okay. So I decided to stand up for myself until it was too much. It was too many people. And I'm like, you know what? You can have this job. And by getting rid of that job was the best thing in the world because I hated the job anyway. I'm doing the same work over and over and over. And it was slowly just killing me, my creativity and everything that now I'm creating. I get up every day. I am joyful with
Mhm.
an opportunity to create something where I can bring positive change in the world.
Yeah.
That is a gift in itself. And I said to myself today, damn, why didn't I retire sooner? Okay? Because now I am a totally different person and I am filled with joy, peace, and love. When it was time for me to go to that damn job, I started feeling sad. I wanted to cry. That job was killing me. It was taking everything any joy that I thought I had away. Walking away from that job is the best thing ever happened to me. Okay, I'm sorry that you had a stroke, but
Yeah.
now we can use our voice for positive change instead of having to stay quiet and go along with the status quo. And you know that shit was no good for you. Now you speak up and say, no, I'm not taking that no more. I'm using my voice for good. I'm using my voice to make positive change and bring people like yourself and other people to help to, to cultivate these skills, okay? So they can create something positive in their lives. Okay? That's why we're here today. Am I
Yes,
right?
ma'am. Yeah, you are right. You are right. And, to go back to what you were saying about creating positive change, I didn't realize until I read someone's publication that your voice, that the actual writing is part of expression, right?
Creative expression. Yes.
Correct. Correct. So I didn't realize that until I read that, and I was like, "Oh, I'm using my voice for good." It's that you don't hear it, but you see the written word. So I feel good about that.
Good for
That
you. Good for
part of
you.
my thank you. That part of my creativity is being let out.
Awaken. It is awaken.
Correct.
And as you awaken, you're awakening other people.
Correct. I hope, right?
You are. You are an inspiration because I see your work out there and I'm like, you go, girl. You inspire me. And you make me get up off that couch, get off that pity pot and say, let's go.
Let's
We
go,
need,
girl.
let's go. We need more of that. Okay. And I'm seeing my work reverberating throughout Substack. And that's what we have to continue to do.
Correct.
Open hearts and open minds through our voice. Our voice is through our writing, through the words we speak, okay? And the things coming, all these things are coming from our heart. And when you're coming from the heart, that's the impact that you bring, the fire that you bring to the world. And that's what we all need, okay?
Okay.
Okay, so so when we talk about our voice, okay, that starts with our inner voice. If we don't trust ourselves, how can we deliver the message that need to be heard?
Yeah, I think that's where it all begins. We have to trust ourselves, right?
Yes,
To write those things, to express ourselves, to express those thoughts, and you know, and to have the bravery to hit publish, right? Or to hit
yes.
post.
We
That's how
don't
those.
need.
That's how
I'm
the
sorry. Go ahead.
people. That's how the people hear our voice, right? Once we hit post.
Yes. So all those negative voices is telling you what you're saying is wrong. Throw that. Say I'm going to hit publish. Okay. If somebody don't like it, it's going to be somebody that don't like it. Don't worry about it. You spoke the truth, and the truth will set you free, and then you move on to the next thing that you're working on. Okay.
Correct. Correct.
People has told us time and time again that what we have to say is irrelevant. Those people are irrelevant, okay? To even tell us something like that, to make us feel small. Because every person has something to say. I don't care, even if it's a child has something to say, let them say it.
Correct.
Okay?
And they have the right to say it, but I've learned throughout the years, and I'm sure you've heard this too, that it's not our business what other people think, right?
That's the
It really
problem
is.
with the world. That's the problem. If we mind our own fucking business, then the world would be a better place.
Correct.
Flat
Stay in
out.
your lane.
Exactly.
Hmm.
Stay in your lane. When we stay in our lane and mind our own business, our work improves. The quality of the work that we send out to the world improves because then we focus solely on wholeness and how we're going to deliver that message. Those naysayers, they just trying to pull us away from what we're trying to deliver. And so we shut them up, move them aside, and keep moving. That's how we win. That's how we win. Never give up.
Nope. Never give up. Never give up.
Absolutely. So we've always felt it was unsafe for us to use our voice because people closest to us didn't want to hear what we said because they didn't respect it. They didn't because they don't respect themselves. So if they don't respect themselves, how the hell are they going to respect us? Okay?
No.
Right?
That is correct. They won't respect us if they don't respect themselves. You're absolutely right. And it it all goes back to having that self trust and that self worth. And if you don't have that, how can you respect someone else, right? If you don't have it in you.
Right. And once you recognize this, then you plan accordingly. You say, okay, this person don't have no respect for themselves, so they're not going to have respect for me. So I'm just going to remove myself from this situation. You stay right here, baby. You stay here. I'll remove myself from the situation because I am trying to elevate. And I'm trying to elevate everybody in the community where I am. And if you're not about reciprocity and being honest, okay,
Mhm.
then I'm in the wrong place. or you're in the wrong place. I'm going to remove myself or I'm going to remove you. One of us got to go. And that's the attitude that we have to take because time is limited, okay? We don't have all the time in the world. We don't know, right?
No. Yes, because we aren't promised tomorrow, right?
Exactly. So what can we do today?
Correct.
Right? That's always should be our concern. What can I do today? Because we might not be here tomorrow. We might not be here next week, but we know that the world that we live in is not the world that I signed up for. I mean, I didn't sign up, I was brought here. But anyway, you know what I'm saying.
Right.
This is not the world that I wanted for myself, my daughter, or future generations. Okay. So what can we do? Okay, we have to each of us have to figure out what our role is in this madness.
Right.
Okay?
It's sharing. I think for me, it's sharing what I have to say, what's in my mind, right, and on my heart. It's sharing that message with people, and that's the same here for Substack because that's what people are here to do is spread their good word. And notice I said there, right? Because everyone's voice is different. Everyone's thoughts are different. And like I said, you just have to show up, right? You have to show up
Yes.
and spread your voice and your message.
Yeah, but we have to first show up for ourselves. If we don't first show up for ourselves, we can't show up for no one else.
That's correct. And when you're showing up, that you're correct. That's when you show up for other people, right?
Exactly, because we don't live in this world alone. No man is an island. Okay? And if you think you are, that would be probably similar to Jeffrey Epstein. He did have an island, and we don't want to talk about what he did on that island. Okay,
No.
so that's what I'm saying. Use your power for good, not for bad. I want to leave you better than I found you, or leave you equal or better, not worse.
Correct.
Okay, not worse. And so we all need to be mindful of this in our daily walks. Okay. Smile. It doesn't cost you nothing to smile. Okay?
No. Right.
And it makes you feel good inside. And not only that, you make somebody else feel good. So isn't that the point of why we live in this world together?
Yes. I mean, I think that was no, not I think. It was one of my posts. It it only takes 46 I'm sorry, it takes 46 muscles for you to frown and only 17 for you to smile. What and what does that do? It like you said, it makes other people feel good. It makes you feel good. Just do it. Smile.
See, it didn't cost nothing and it felt good. Right?
Right.
Right. Yes, absolutely. So uh, when we talk about our voice, we can also use silence as well. Okay? Silence speak volumes. Okay?
Yeah.
So that's a way to get your point across as well.
Right. You know, I practice uh the morning mindset by Hal Elrod. Have you heard of that? He has
Maybe.
he he has what's called the Savers, Saveres, for people that aren't familiar with him. And silence is the first one. So every morning, I practice a moment of silence, and that helps me get those thoughts out onto. Well, I use my notes app on my phone, but or you can use paper and pen and journal. But yes, I have that moment of silence in my head to get that out. Hmm.
Yes, it is very, very critical because I spend a lot of time alone purposely. And I love it. I love my own company because when I'm in silence, I can become very creative. Okay.
Yeah.
That's when my creativity comes alive. And also when I'm outside, it comes
Yeah.
alive then too, as well.
Just out of curiosity, Margaret, are you an introvert?
Yes, I am. You probably
Yeah.
find that hard to believe, but I am.
No, you can be an I think I'm an extroverted introvert, right? I like my peace by myself, but I don't have a problem talking to any, people. I like people, but I need that time to go inside and be with myself, and I enjoy it.
I do too. I like people, but in small doses. I'm just being honest. I I'm a deep thinker. I don't deep thinking, and I don't like small talk.
Oh,
Okay,
I don't either.
I don't. It bores me. I'm like, well, okay, when you got something to say, come back over here, and then we can talk.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah. So it's good to know how we want to show up and how we can show up our best selves. Since I know I'm an introvert and I don't want to have all these you know meaningless conversations. It's not meaningful, but to me it is. Okay,
right,
I'm going to act accordingly. I'm going to put myself in a certain situation. Okay, and sometimes then it doesn't necessarily work because then you say, oh, this person coming over here to talk to me, and I'm like, I really don't want to talk to them, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Okay,
right.
because we have to communicate. Because if we don't communicate, then we're gonna have conflict. And so to avoid conflict, because I am a avoider, I want to make sure I communicate very, very well what I'm articulating, and I want to make sure that you understood what I'm saying. Because
Mhm.
I'm not going to repeat it no 2 and 3 times. Okay, so I want to make sure when we're done that are you understanding? Are we in agreement? So if you come back and say something different, contrary to that, then I have to make a decision whether I'm going to explain or whether I'm just going to cut you off. Okay? Period.
I'm
I'm just being
laughing
honest.
because my dad was like that. He only said something one time, and if you didn't catch it on the first time, too bad.
There it is. Because
Yeah,
sometimes people misunderstand you on purpose. And you got to know when that is, because then your body will tell you this person is trying to play in your face. When I realize that you're playing in my face, then I'm just going to cut you off and keep moving because I'm not going to have my peace disturbed because that affects my productivity, my mental well-being. So we always have to be seeing these conversations and people and so on and so forth. Is it adding value to my life and my work? If it doesn't add any value or anything at all, you got to go. That's where I'm
yeah,
at today because
yeah,
I've had too many disruptions in my life with what I'm trying to do. People purposely taking you off your path to prevent you from doing what you are called to do. When you realize it, then you have to act accordingly. And that's where I'm at today. 2026 is elevation. Okay. If we have to distract or to prevent from being extracted from, I would just say, okay, I'm done. Next, and just move on.
yeah,
Okay?
yeah,
That's what we are. How do we use our voice? Okay? Let's talk about that. We use our voice at the polls, okay? To make the decision on which candidates that we want to right, to elect, all right?
yeah.
They are supposed to be representing us in Congress, okay?
Okay, let's not talk about the government here.
Well, I'm just using different various ways in which we can use our voice. And
True.
and so because if we stop and think about it, our ancestors was not able to use their voice. They had to use code switching. Okay, they had to use other ways to communicate with each other. They didn't want them communicating with each other because like okay, well, they trying to figure out how they're going to escape. So you have to find other ways of communicating. So that's what we did. You had Morse code, okay? Then we used smoke signals, back in the day before the Morse code, we used smoke signals. So we have to find ways to communicate. Even in today's world, they're trying to censor us and shut us up. So if it gets to that point, we have to utilize multitude of ways to get our voice out there. Okay, written, audio, okay, video, which other ways? You see what I'm saying? We got to
Yes,
come up, we got to be adaptive, and we also have to be forward thinking.
yes. Forward thinking that, yeah. They used to say that when I was getting my master's degree, they used to use that term a lot, forward thinkers, like, we have to be forward thinkers, and and I know I'm repeating myself, but we have to put our thoughts out there, and that's what I thought that meant, right? And putting our thoughts out there was, like you said, through communicating, through, you know, smoke signals in the past, through the Morse code, through, through your voice, your spoken voice, through your written voice, right?
Through
So,
artwork, through the art,
yeah, through
okay?
art, right, right, through art,
Music,
yeah,
we're expressing
art,
through music.
music, uh, pottery, like working with your hands and, yeah,
Dancing is always
dancing,
all a form of communication.
right, yeah, there are different ways that you can create, yeah,
I've even seen bands, I forgot the name of the band, that they took junk, okay, cans and all of that, and they made music with that. So if we if we're in silence, okay, we can come up with a lot of creative ways to use our voice,
correct, yeah. I
right?
agree. Right, I agree because that moment of silence in the morning that I take to get those thoughts out, and that's what it is, Margaret. It's that silence that helps you get those thoughts out, right?
Also, remember back in the day, I wasn't born then. They had the movies. It was silent
Oh,
movies.
the silent movies, right? With the like Charlie Chaplin days.
Exactly. So that's where, you figure things out. We're figuring out ways to communicate, to expand, to to grow. And we always have to come up with these innovative ways to get our message out to the world. Okay? Just like, for example, I had this training when I used to work for the government and every year. So they say if you get captured by enemies, they tell you
Yeah,
what to do. Okay? And so it's a ways to communicating the ways to communicate with the person that abducted you, okay, and then you figure out, okay, you use you use your sound, your hearing, and everything and listening to the walls to figure out if there's other people like you in that place,
right,
okay. So we have to figure out all types of ways in which we communicate to get our message across so we can come home safe. Okay? So the same thing goes whatever the military does, we have to do the same thing. Find various ways to communicate to get those things done. Okay? Back in the day, you captured or whatever, you figure out sounds like the Morse code.
right, right,
Okay? So when you're in these different situations, you figure out how the hell I'm gonna get myself out this situation that I found myself in. How can I communicate to let people know, hey, I am on the side of good, not bad. Okay? So we always have to look at all these different ways in which we can communicate to
right,
get our message across to the world, okay? Because we also have the news. Yeah, but how much of that can we trust? And where is it coming from? So that's when our personal messaging and things come in and our body will tell us, no, this is not safe. This is what they're saying. It doesn't sound right. We have to always be evaluating these situations and see does it make sense? Not take somebody else's word for it and end up in a ditch somewhere.
right. I'm gonna backpedal, Margaret, um,
Yes.
to a point where you said that about adding value, right? Adding
Okay.
value to people's lives. I mean, that's what we do now. We add I mean, I like to think that I add value. I certainly know that you do. But if if
Thank
someone
you.
doesn't add value to my life and I don't add value to your life, w what does it matter, right? Like, what are we doing here? What does our voice matter? It doesn't, right?
Right.
Or it does. It all depends on your point of view. But, I just wanted to say that your voice and what you have to say adds value to other people's lives. And that's all I have to say about that.
Well, that's one thing I pray on. Okay, every day. I don't want to assume that I'm bringing value into people's lives. Okay, how do we know? Um, we can sometimes we can sense that. Majority of the time I can sense that, but sometimes we have in our messaging we have to say things that people are not going to want to hear. Okay,
Correct.
but okay, we're all adults, and we have to be willing to accept things whether we like it or not. Okay, um, you have to be open minded and open your heart to see, well, what she's saying, how does that affect me? Okay. Um, and it makes us search within ourselves to remove some of these insecurities. A lot of us have these insecurities and we can become triggered by different things. I know I can. But if I
Yeah.
get triggered by something, then I go back later and look at it and dissect it and see, okay, how does this impact me? Does this make sense? Maybe I do need to change. Maybe by changing, maybe this will help to increase blessings coming into my life. So when somebody tell you something, you get triggered by it. Don't turn it off. Examine it and see if it's valid. Right?
Right.
We
Right.
have to be willing to accept uh, criticism when it's constructive.
Right.
Constructive criticism.
I was
Okay.
just I was just going to say that. It has to be constructive.
But I've also had some things that was not constructive. And then you look at what lessons you learn from that. And you'll say, okay, the lesson I learned from this is not the type of person that I want to associate with. This is not the type of thing that I need in my life. So we have to look at all of these things.
Right.
Be open. Be open.
Yeah, be open. And, you know, I as long as the criticism is constructive, I mean, I can that's something I can roll with, right? Because I'm I'm looking at ways of bettering myself, right? And bettering, that voice that I have. So, yeah, that's how I feel about that.
Yes, absolutely. And sometimes for me, people ask me, okay, I'm going live with somebody. They'll say, well, what preparations we have to have? I'm like, I lived in a box all my life. And so now I'm free. I'm not going to restrict myself. So, okay, uh, I write down this question. That don't mean I'm going to ask you that question. I always come with bullet points, but most times I don't end up using it anyway. It's just to make me feel more secure and confident when I'm talking. Okay.
Right.
So I say, everybody, I look at different people's lives and they do it different ways. And that's okay. I do the lives based on how I want to do it and how I feel it's going to bring the most value to my subscribers. Being a coach, I am naturally curious anyway. So basically, I'm asking you questions based on the comment that you said previously, and it might pique my interest, and then I'll ask you a question. That's why I don't have no strict questions that I'm going to ask anybody because we need to leave some room for adaptability. Okay,
Right.
I don't want to be the robotic. I don't want the conversation to be robotic. I want it to be engaging, so we can all get some value out of it. That's just my way of doing things. So, um, find what works for you. Okay. That's why I tell everybody, as you continue to do these lives, you'll start to feel much more confident in yourself. Okay. Baby steps. Go back and look at your first live and look at the one you did now. You'll see a bunch of changes, positive changes that you've done. These things happen over time. They don't happen overnight. You have to give yourself some grace.
Yeah.
Okay.
Small impact or small steps equal big impact. That's what I think. Yeah.
Isn't that why we're here?
That's correct, ma'am.
Okay. So when I first started, I didn't like my voice. Okay. So I didn't like my voice, and that's why I didn't speak a lot. I used to say, I'm gonna let my work speak for itself. Well, we know that don't happen in most organizations. The work that you do, they don't even think they don't think of nothing about it. They'll tell you, okay, now you did that. Here's the next thing you got to do. Most times they won't even say, thank you. So
Mm.
you have to use your actual voice because most people just going to ignore you anyway. Oh, she don't want nothing. She's nothing. You know, like they said about Cinderella. Okay, go do something else. You have to articulate what you need and what you want because people can't read your mind.
I was just gonna say that. You took the words right out of my mouth. People can't read your mind. So that's why you have to say it. You have to say what you need. Because they, like I said, and like you said, people can't read your mind. They don't know. They don't know.
Right. And the same thing is somebody's hurting you. They don't know if they're hurt. They might know, okay, because you can tell in a person's body
Right.
language, okay? And you know if you're doing something to somebody negatively, you know it's going to hurt them. But still, open your mouth and say, this is not acceptable. You're disrespecting me or you're hurting me, and it's not allowed. Open your fucking mouth. Period.
I love your profanity, Margaret.
Well, there's a place and time for everything. I don't always curse, but when I feel like the need, then I'm going to do it. And
Yeah.
it is what it is. So we're
And
all
I love it.
adults and we have free will. Okay.
Correct.
There was a time that we couldn't say nothing. So if I want to say something, I'm going to say it. Okay.
Okay.
There it is.
Say it.
So I'm going to, yes, that's what we all need to use our voice. I'm seeing more people out there using their voice and showing people what you can do. Okay. Get from behind the computer because people don't know you. Okay. That's how we get to know people and know, like, and trust.
Correct.
I'm not going to trust nobody that I can't see and I can't talk to. If I can't talk to you and I can't see you, then we don't have no conversation. Okay? Period. Okay. Mimi Sally said, I am inspired by you, Jen. I love you. Your son soars because you inspire him. Okay. All right.
Mimi Sally is my brother-in-law's mother. And
okay.
yes, I love her. My family and my friends call me by my middle name, which is Jennifer, so that's why she's calling me Jen. Thank you, Mimi Sally.
Yeah, thank you for that. I'm gonna see if there's any more comments here. Anybody have any questions? Yeah, being an introvert and everything, and I said, well, who is my target market? The person that is afraid to speak their voice. But
Okay.
I couldn't help them until I was able to lift my voice. How can I help somebody lift their voice if I'm scared to talk? Okay.
Right. You have to be able to do all those things that you are setting out to do before you do it for someone else, right? You have to do it for you first.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely. Otherwise, you just can be considered fake. So that's why it took me so long here on Substack to figure out who am I talking to, what am I going to offer them, okay? And it's take time. You have to give yourself space and time to make these things happen. They don't happen overnight. I was
No.
coming from government contracting after spending 39 years with the government. I know nothing about all of this. I know about cultivating and nurturing relationships and
Yeah.
all the skills that I learned with the government and through all my you know, uh college studies and everything
Right.
that that we have transferable skills that we can also use here at Substack. Now talk to us about how you're using your transferable skills here at Substack.
Um, that's a big question, Margaret. How am I using my transferable skills? Well, um, I'm processing this right now. I think, for me, it's not it's not the healthcare, so to speak, but it's the leadership aspect of it, is how I'm using my transferable skills. Like, I'm being a leader of myself, and I am hopefully inspiring other people to be leaders of themselves and leaders in their lives and their workplace. Um, that's how I think I'm using my transferable skills is through leadership and bringing value, like you said, bringing value to their lives and hopefully they're paying it forward and bringing value to other people's lives. And yeah, it's through that one word, that leadership.
It's amazing. And I talked to some people and they told me they didn't consider themselves a leader. And
Oh,
I'll tell each and every one of you, you are a leader.
our leader. Yeah, because you have
Yes,
to
you
lead
are.
yourself, right?
Exactly. If no one else, you have to lead yourself. So
Yeah.
that makes you a leader in itself.
Correct. And that's what I think too.
Exactly. So this has been an amazing conversation. Um, And one of the things too, when we talk about voice, we have to consider our safety at every situation, and especially in today's world with ICE out there and all these things that are going on. We have to utilize our voice, knowing when to utilize it and knowing when to use other skills. Okay, and we constantly need to be uh, flexible and adaptable in this environment because we just never know what shoe is going to fall next, right? What
Right.
requirement of us is going to be necessary.
Right. The speaking up or not speaking up, whatever you choose. That's a choice too, right? Not speaking up.
Yes, and as we know, if we don't speak up, we cannot create change in this world. Our ancestors created change because was courageous enough to speak up and to do what was necessary for the life that we are living today. So how are we going to use our voice to make change in today's world and for our future and our future generations? Are we going to remain complicit, or are we going to use our voice in other ways? There's many ways to use our voice.
Yeah. And like we said earlier, I mean, we went through that whole gamut earlier about how you can use your voice through creativity, through writing, through your spoken voice, through many ways, right?
Absolutely. And we need to be mindful of that, okay? To speak up now when we can, there may come a time where we're not allowed to say nothing.
Right.
That's why we need to start speaking up now. Okay? We had the what they call it, Bill of Rights, or to right to bear arms, not to bear arms, but to speak,
Just right.
to right? So
Freedom
we
of
can't.
speech.
And there you go. Thank you. We cannot let nobody take that from us, right?
No, no, we're not. I'm not going to get into it.
I'm just saying
Right, right. You're
to
just saying.
be
Right,
to be an agent of change, we have to use our voice in whatever way we find that's best for us.
right, right.
Okay?
We're comfortable with. Right.
Right? Because I remember back in the day when those I don't know if it was Betsy Ross or whatever, they used to make these blankets and everything and put these
Right.
expressions on there. They would give these blankets out to, the veterans. There's so many things that we can do. Okay? So I just want us all to find these ways in which we can make a difference. By elevating our voice, we elevate others in the process.
Yeah. Yeah. You are correct. You are correct. And when we have that ability to elevate others, we elevate ourselves too, right? We're just
Yes,
not elevating
absolutely.
others, we're elevating ourselves.
Yes. So why wouldn't we want to do that?
I don't know.
I'm just asking a question for everyone, not you specifically. That's including me too.
Yeah, why wouldn't you want to elevate yourself?
Right. And that's a question that I would like for each of you all to take away today, to figure out how you're going to use your voice to make a difference. Okay. Because if impact is not named, it is negotiable. Okay? If your insight is not repeated, it is forgettable. Okay? If your value is not positioned, it is misappropriated. Okay? So how each and every one of us has to figure out, how are we going to stand today? Are we standing for good? Are we standing for bad? Or are we just not caring at all? Okay?
Right,
Because whatever decision that you make today is going to impact others, not just you. Okay? So we just need to be mindful of that. And that includes me too. Okay? That includes me too. So do you have any final comments or suggestions or anything that you would like to share with everyone today? Being the leader that you are?
well, I would just say, to be you, right? Those are my parting words. Be
I
you.
love that. In all the beautiful ways you can be you. Okay? Does anybody have any questions or anything or comments? I want to thank you all for coming today and spending this time with us. I hope you've got something out of the conversation. I know I did. And thank you so much, Florence, for your time.
You're
And
welcome.
it's been an honor. It's been an honor. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Thank
thank
you
you
all.
too.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.